Hey everyone, happy spring. I just decided to record a new video as I feel like there's a lot of spiritual things going on that people really might want assistance with um, when it comes to dealing with their EDS and kind of how energies affect them and what you can do about it. And so this is a little bit of a different take on the natural EDS healing, but I feel like there's kind of an audience out there that is wanting to willingly participate in this side of things. So here we go. So I'm just going to read off a list of things and explain them a little bit as far as what I do, what keeps me grounded, and what helps me with my symptoms and dealing with them, and just kind of daily life in general. And you'll have to excuse those beeps in the background. I have a page up that's making that noise. So anyway, so the first thing that's really important to me is my affirmations. So for those of you that aren't super familiar with what that might look like or mean, affirmations are kind of speaking things into existence as if they already are happening or are in place, and they are positive things that we are wanting to have in our lives. So for example, one of mine, and mine are a little bit long and drawn out, I write them out. One of mine is basically saying thank you to myself, my higher selves, and the universe for being surrounded by souls that actively seek out balance, self-love, love of others, awareness, health, the beauty of life, and adventure, and that I actively and attentively participate in reciprocity with these kinds of souls and draw these kind of souls to me, as well as am actively trying to engage in life and be all of the things that I just listed off as well. So that's one of my affirmations. And so I have, this whole long list that I do because there's a lot of things that I'm ready to manifest and have in my life that are important to me. So what I do is, especially when it gets warmer, I go outside and I take my feet and put them on the bare dirt in the ground, and I sit for a moment and I read these out loud. I know that it might come off as a little strange to the neighbors or someone that just sees me, but I guess at this point I don't really care. So I do my affirmations that way, and sometimes I stand in each cardinal direction and read them off once and then turn and do it again. For some reason, I resonate with the idea of acknowledging all of the directions of the earth and kind of how they can conspire to come together and help me. So that's how I do it. And sometimes at night, obviously, I don't typically go out in the dark and stand in the dirt. I do that in the morning. So at night, what I do is I do either those affirmations or just some general helpful mantras about, I feel healthy, I feel great, speaking all of these happy things into existence about my EDS. And I tap right here between my eyebrow, which is where your third eye is, and your pineal gland. And I'm a firm believer in the fact that when you're tapping this place right here, it's kind of this meditative trance that it puts you into, and it brings awareness to drawing these things to you, as well as this is one of your chakras where your energy swirls around. So there are different methods of tapping, and it's actually called a lot of times EFT, which is emotional freeing technique. And you have different spots where you can tap, and they'll teach you. And there's a lot of YouTube videos on it that are obviously free. So I think it does this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, your heart chakra, underneath your wrists, and then on top of your wrists. But I would look on YouTube just to be sure. I haven't done the whole circuit for a while. But you will find, honestly, that when you are feeling pretty crappy, if you do these tapping points and just say, I feel great and wonderful and relaxed, if you have headaches, if you have pains, if you're super emotional, if you do just even the one, or you do the whole circuit of those tapping points that you will completely eradicate what's going on with your body. I've done it many times to myself and other people who are having migraines, and they have completely gone away by the end of 5 or 10 minutes of doing that. So that's incredibly helpful. So we have the affirmations so far, with or without the tapping and the feet in the dirt. And what I forgot to mention about having your feet in the earth is that spiritually you are grounding yourself in with the earth, and the earth has the ability to heal itself and heal you. And also there is a frequency that comes out of the earth, which is healing. And I know that I'm not speaking about it very scientifically, but if you want to do the research, you can. I've spent time doing research, but at this point, I don't really feel like regurgitating it. But just know that it's incredibly helpful. And when you're feeling anxious and full of thoughts that are just going all over the place and you're completely having a hard time, standing in the dirt or putting your hands in the dirt also is very helpful. And when you're standing in the dirt, you can do a little bit of a visualization of your feet actually having roots that are being rooted into the earth. And that is a very grounding thing as well. And if you want to get extreme about it, you can also lay in the dirt, and laying in the grass is helpful too. So basically reconnecting with earth is incredibly beneficial. So I couldn't say that enough. So let's see, the next thing on my list is listening to binaural beats. And binaural beats, again, kind of work with your energy or the frequency of your brainwaves specifically, and they can help you heal your body in basically a method where your DNA is healing itself. Again, I know I'm not explaining this very scientifically, but you can Google it. On YouTube, again, there's a lot of binaural beats. Some of them are for healing, some of them are for depression, some are for pain, some of them are for just feeling love and compassion, some are for other specific reasons that I can't even think of right now, and you can do so many of them. They're free. I would listen to them with headphones probably because the sound is more potent that way. And this is also one of the ways that I've dealt with a lot of aches and pains. Sorry about that. And so that's a really helpful one. The next one is chanting. And doing this simple Om. A lot of people do it in yoga, but you can chant at home. Again, on YouTube, there's lots of things you can do as far as chanting goes. You can chant along with people, or you can just take a deep breath where you breathe in, and at the very, very top of that breath, you breathe out and just start saying, oh, and then as the breath gets farther and farther out, your chest goes farther and farther down. You can purse your lips together and do the end as that sound, and when you do the sound, it kind of rattles your chest and your head, and that's also a form of kind of a frequency healing for you. The next I would recommend, and this is something that not everybody has at home because they're expensive, but again, if you go to yoga, or again, they are also on YouTube, I would recommend using the sounds of singing bowls. They make this very round sound, and it's similar to the way the binaural beats can sound. It's a very penetrating sound that's very, very strong. So either singing bowls or gong therapy. All of these deal with different, connected parts of your body. So the affirmations are dealing with changing your thought process and also doing a meditative action that's repetitive, that puts us in a certain mental state. Feeling the earth is an actual physical feeling, but the vibrations that come out of the earth are helpful. And the binaural beats and the chanting and the singing bowls are also all together collectively kind of work with sound, and we can heal through sound. You can also use light therapy, which I personally don't have a lot of experience with, but I've heard many success stories. Um, and then I guess the last thing that I wanted to mention specifically that I use is my intuition. Um, it has come to fruition for me over the last couple of weeks that sometimes, no matter how much you want specific people around you or in your life, they can cause you physical pain. So, if you have a family member or a ex-romantic partner or a coworker or someone that you've had such a tumultuous situation with, and you noticed that when you parted ways with that person and you were separated from them, that you felt so much more exuberant and healthy and in less pain. All of those things are something to really take note of. I do believe that karmically there are some people that are just really rough for us to be around, and that they may cause us um, physical illness. And so my example would be a particular person that I had been removed from for a while. And I'd found during this time of being removed that I was having less food allergies and less sensitivities, better time sleeping, less anxiety, all of these things. And then when I reconnected with this person, this anxiety came immediately rushing back. And I didn't put two and two together until I was in yoga class a couple of days later, not only having that anxiety, but having pain right here in right below my rib cage, this excruciating pain. And this is when this person was still in my awareness and in my physical life, I guess. I had recently spent time with them. And the second that I removed this person swiftly again, my stomach stopped hurting and I was not anxious any longer. So I would really, really, really encourage you to take an inventory of people that are around you and also activities. That's another thing I wanted to mention. So, activities that make you feel really good, almost like a high feeling, but without drugs or alcohol. So, for example, when I go to yoga, I get this really incredibly peaceful and sometimes high feeling of like this accomplishment and this connectedness to people around me and the earth and myself. And the opposite of that would be, I don't know, me holding my cell phone, texting someone back and forth, for an hour straight. I notice that I start to feel sluggish and tired, and my hand starts to hurt and go numb. So I've recognized that some of my happy things are yoga, hiking, being connected to the ground, having really meaningful conversations with people where there's this mutual exchange and benefit. And then I've noticed some not so great things like electronics, the wireless on the computer or cell phone. Obviously, heavy drinking makes me feel like crap. I do admit that I've been partaking in a little bit of sulfite free wine every now and again, and I actually feel really good. It feels good to be able to nourish my body with something that I think is actually kind of a gift to us. But just taking stock again of our activities and people around us and how they make us feel. So, to go back through that list really quickly, the awesome things that I do spiritually to help deal with my EDS that benefit me immensely are my affirmations, getting my body touching the ground, the tapping, binaural beats, chanting, singing bowls, and positive people and activities. So this might seem like something that would be second nature or something that's kind of like a duh thing, but I actually feel like some of us sometimes aren't aware of all of these things collectively and how they're affecting us. So I just wanted to send some positive things out there for you guys to help yourself. And if you have any questions, let me know. I wish you all the best, and I will be back soon. Love and light to everybody.